Wednesday. We still have another round of touchdowns for tickets. We'll get to that, all that good stuff. Like to welcome in our Dollar Loan Center video audience. You can watch all these segments on the Prater and the Ballgame KTIK YouTube channel. JP, yesterday we asked for several subscriptions, and I think we got a few, didn't we, man? Where are we at now?
We were trying to get to 700. We were too short, so please subscribe. Put us over 700. Come on.
There's JP. He's asking for 2 people to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. I hope Prater doesn't have any doubts about that one. I think we can get 2 people on that, Prater. What do you say?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, simple question here. Phone calls, 208-424-9300. Kirby Moore or Kellen Moore? Who becomes a head coach first? Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. Kirby Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Missouri Tigers, on the 2 highest levels of football on this planet. Won the NFL with Kellen, won the SEC with Kirby. Really simple. There's a poll up right now, Prater, and I'm looking at it. We posted on the KTIK Twitter poll, X poll. Kirby Moore, not Kellen Moore. Kirby leads 52 to 47% on this, and we've had a couple hundred people vote. We want people to call in and tell us their why. Who? Kellen or Kirby? Who gets the first head coaching headset to wear, Prater? That'll be a big deal.
You know, I know you like both, but you obviously have a man crush on Kellen Moore, as a lot of people do. So does that poll result bother you? Are you upset by that?
No,
because you want this to be Kellen, don't you?
Prater, I love some Kirby as well.
I know you do. I just said that.
Yeah, I just said Kellen, I thought.
No, you love Kirby Moore, but you have a man crush on Kellen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And looking at that poll is going to bother you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Kirb. You know, I'm happy that Kirby is leading this poll. And you know what? I think those guys, I think they're right. I think Kirby is going to get a head coaching job at the collegiate level, which is where he's going to be, in my opinion. Then Kellen will get a job at the NFL level, which is what we pretty much know. That's the league Kellen wants to stay in. He's had opportunities for college. Kellen loves the NFL life. Kirby in college. 208-424-9300. Why do you think Kirby or Kellen gets their first job? Who gets their first head coaching opportunity, Kellen Moore or Kirby Moore, here on Prater and the Ballgame? And the polls, people keep voting. Go vote on it now. And this is going to be, I'll say, probably a close call, Prater, or are you guys going to make fun of me again, calling Kellen Moore will be a future NFL head coach? And damn it, I'm like 4 years late on that call.
Yeah, you predicted that 4 years ago. We're still waiting.
I did.
Kellen Moore is going to get a head coaching job in the NFL at one point. We might be 95 years old, and he might be 100 or whatever, but I think he's going to get a shot somewhere along the way. The NFL is just, it just seems like Kellen Moore is going to get himself an NFL job somewhere down the road.
Okay.
I really, truly believe that. I'm not convinced Kirby Moore is. And I think Kirby Moore's career is tied to a 12-game schedule at Missouri this year.
Wow.
And I didn't go back and study Missouri's football season, but I certainly know how crappy Missouri football has been and probably always will be. I'm not a big believer in Eli Drinkwitz and what he does there. He had a fantastic season last year that completely caught us off guard. That's the first successful season they've had at Missouri in 10, 15 years, going back to the Gary Pinkel days.
Yep.
And I'm not sure that coming out of Missouri is going to be the best thing for your job. So if Missouri has another double-digit win season this year,
yes,
win a Cotton Bowl like they did last year and average 35, 40 points or whatever it was last year, probably wasn't that high, but their offense was smoking. They had a great running back. If they do that again, then I think Kirby Moore is going to get himself a coaching job probably first. But I'm not going to sit here and base that prediction on the success of Missouri football. That would be crazy for me because Missouri football sucks. And Missouri football will always suck and continue to suck. But can they have the one magical season again to match the season from last year and get him catapulted into head coaching material? That to me is the question.
All right, phone calls 208-424-9300. Bring some insight to this. Who gets the first head coaching job? Kellen Moore coming from the Philadelphia Eagles OC, or Kirby Moore coming from the Missouri Tigers OC? Eric, we appreciate you holding on our Double Tap Pub hotline. Bring it, Kellen or Kirby?
Well, so this is what I think. I think it's going to be Kirby because I think when it comes to head coaches, I think there's two different candidates now. There's the young hotshot that had a lot of quick success, which he will be.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the long, drawn out, it's finally time, I got my shot. And I think Kellen fits into the second category because I think the NFL's got a lot of tape and he's got a resume there, so it might take him a little bit longer.
I like that. Appreciate you, Eric. So that is a vote for Kirby from Eric. Chuck, you're next up on the double tap. Chucky, bring it. Kellen or Kirby?
Oh,
Hey,
okay. I think probably Kirby simply because you've got 32 jobs in the NFL. You've got a whole gob of jobs at the collegiate level.
It's a good point. Yeah,
really
no. Good point, Chuck.
So,
Couple for Kirby
right.
there. Mike Prater.
Yeah, Vegas has Missouri winning 9.5 games this year. So obviously they're right there in terms of that. And if they can pull that off and again get to 10 wins with 133 jobs, or if the FCS level, depending on wherever he would want to go, then there's definitely opportunities. But he's going to have to complete that season. Missouri, his career, I think, rests in the hands of a 12-game Missouri regular season.
So crazy, man. And you're absolutely right. And I'll tell you this, if all things are even, if Kellen and Kirby both do terrific jobs, they'll both probably get hired. I think Kellen will be the hotter commodity. If Kellen goes to Philly and gets Jalen Hurts and all that potential Kellen has offensively, their line is going to suck, though. That really scares me, replacing Jason Kelsey and possibly, is it Lane Johnson at right tackle, two Hall of Fame type of players. I'm worried about Kellen's old line, Prater, but if he gets that done in Philly, he's going to get a ton of recognition. Oh, Kellen Moore, look what he has. These are he's leading the league in points again. Oh, yardage, and they're winning. Kirby still flew under the radar last year with the job he had at Mizzou. I would have thought maybe he would have had some interviews coming off that. I've seen major coaches get better gigs as a coordinator coming off a year that Kirby had than Kirby had, which is no gigs. Prater, the SEC schedule has to scare you. And that was one of the, I think, 6 best seasons in Missouri football history. That they've had 5-6 years ever winning double-digit games. And they did last year. Like you said, they won a, what do we call it? A New Year's Six Bowl last year.
They won the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, they won the stinking Cotton Bowl. Kirby Moore, 208-424-9300. Keep them calling, JP. But I did see this.
By the way, they scored 14 points in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, that was a rough day, man. They won though, right? 14-10.
They beat Ohio State 14-3.
Yeah, Ohio State was on a different weird lineup that day, but they did beat JP's Buckeyes. Here's what I like about Kirby and Missouri. They don't play. They dodge LSU, they dodge Georgia, and they dodge Texas. Those are 3 teams that will be very hard for whoever has them on their schedule. Now, Kirby still has a date in Tuscaloosa. He's got to go play Alabama. Kirby needs the regular season. He can't go 8-4 and be a hot commodity, Prater. And is there a good chance Missouri goes 8-4 or worse? Yeah, I think there is. You're right. It's Missouri. Let's not get used to them winning 10-plus games every year. Kellen doesn't necessarily have to win a number of games in the regular season next year. Kellen needs to make sure the Eagles win a division, set themselves up with a nice playoff run, and then go do his damage in the playoffs. Now, unless the Eagles have this masterful regular season record and they're like 15-2, then Kellen will be hot at that point. But yeah, these two guys, these two brothers, Prater, still have a lot of work to get done, and they have to have good teams this year. Let's get to Matt. He's on the Double Tap Pub hotline. Matt, welcome to IST, brother. Kirby or Kellen, who you got?
I think it comes down to basic math. There's 134 FBS Division I teams and 32 NFL teams. And in the NFL, they like to recycle people a lot.
Very true. Very true. But they also love to chase after the hot coordinator as well.
Hell yeah.
We've seen that several times. And Kellen's not quite hot. He's a little warm, but if he gets hot, then he's certainly going to be a candidate. But you're right. The math alone tells you that that's going to happen.
Yep. Sure. If Kirby wants to go coach in the Mountain West or in the MAC next year, he's going to have an opportunity to do so. I don't think he's going to take that gig if that's what's up there for him. I think Kirby's getting used to the SEC, and if he doesn't have a better option, hell, he's just going to sit there in Columbia as an OC and make over $1 million a year coordinating an SEC offense for us.
Yeah, and he's got a young career. He's young at age. There's no hurry. We don't need to get him a job by Christmas, a head coaching job. If he ends up staying there and him and Drink crank out some decent seasons for the next 4 or 5 years, that's okay too. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how just your entire career, that's college football though. He knows that. It's a what have you done for me lately profession, and Missouri's in a tough league. You know, even if Missouri's good, there's still going to be a middle of the road packed or SEC team.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know, so they lost that big star running back I talked about, but they like their quarterback still. They like their wide receivers still. So there's some tools there. There's some possibilities there for Kirby to go off and do what he has to do. And if he does what is projected for him to do, and maybe even upset somebody based on some offense and continue to build his name, yeah, he's going to get that job pretty quick.
I think he is. I mean, but the problem is you look at Mizzou the previous 2 years, by the way, this is before Kirby showed up. They were 6-7 and 6-7 under Drink. I mean, he was on the hot seat last year in Columbia, and then they go 11-2 out of nowhere, finished the season ranked 8th in the country for Kirby. Here's my Kellen question to you. Is he still the hot assistant? It feels like he's almost an old assistant now because his name's been out there for so stinking long, Prater. I don't know where Kellen is as far as what neighborhood I'm going to put him in, as like the old veteran OC who deserves a chance, or the young, hot, cool, genius coordinator. I don't know where Kellen is right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if you need to pigeonhole him with something like that. So he just needs to go off and have a successful year, maybe even a couple of them stick around. What is his third team in 3 years?
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if the NFL looks down upon that, but I don't think they care about stuff like that. But that doesn't lend to success. And you know, you can debate the Cowboys' success, good or bad. LA did not work out. Philadelphia. There's some people there that feel like Philadelphia might be a mirage and this offense is going away, and Jalen Hurts was a one-trick pony and may not ever be an NFL superstar again. But we'll see. I mean, that's just the negative NFL media out there and fan base throwing around all kinds of stuff. And if Kellen can get them going, that'd be great. But you know what? We've been kind of waiting for Kellen to get it going for quite a while. So as much as Kirby, his career depends on this season, I don't think that's the case with Kellen Moore. I think Kellen Moore's obviously got plenty of time to kind of go off. And if he goes on a nice little 2 or 3 year run and gets himself a head coaching job down the road, I can easily see that happen.
Are you going to take a side on this or wait and see? I'm sticking with Kirby. I think Kirby's got a better chance to win 10 games this year with Mizzou. That'll get him a head coaching gig than Kellen tearing the whole league up, getting to Philly, and the Eagles win 13, 14, 15 games and a couple of playoff games. Probably what it's going to take for Kellen, man.
Yeah, I don't think Philadelphia has to go like that hard.
They don't? Okay.
No, I don't think they need to go that hard. If they win 10 games and the offense is clicking and the defense stinks, you know, Kellen Moore's going to be just fine. But
yeah,
you're putting all your faith on a Missouri football team that you know nothing about, and I'm not going to trust Missouri football, so I'm not going to make the Kirby Moore prediction just basically because I don't trust Missouri football, and I don't trust Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah, he's had one good year, Coach Drink. 1 year over 500 since he got there at Mizzou, and that was last year. Mizzou's a tough place to win in the SEC. Dodging LSU, Georgia, and Texas is nice, though. Still got 3 or 4 other really difficult challenges on the SEC schedule. 208-424-9300. Appreciate everybody on our video audience. Don'tbebroke.com. That's where you go to set yourself up with Dollar Loan Center. Prater, we want him to keep calling. We're getting back to the schedule. What do we need?
Yeah, well, we can continue this conversation. Kirby or Kellen, if your thoughts, let us know. And by the way, Missouri's non-conference schedule is a joke. He should go 4-0 there and score 70 points a game. So that's certainly going to be a nice little bump. Kirby or Kellen, and then Boise State. They're looking for a Power 4 opponent. Who do you want to see? What's your wish list? They're looking for a Group of 5 opponent. What's your wish list? Who do you want to see? So, and then maybe even ask some questions about the North End Zone project. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you a North Ender who's getting booted? Are you a South Ender? Because some of you guys are getting booted as well. And it's a big old money story. Let's talk money.
Yeah. Do you have a few bucks in your pocket and you've been waiting for an experience at Albertson Stadium like this forever? Everything that comes in the stickle, but you're a lot closer to the action. Light it up, 208-424-9300. Prater and the ball game.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.